Welcome, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Glad to have you here. So today we'll be doing something different, different from the videos you've been seeing on this channel, and it's more about the career guide. So you are looking at the end of the year and you want to make a change, you want to upskill, and then you want to add a serious certification to your name. This is the right place to be, and I'll be showing you how to, make some moves that will help you along this line, especially in this Certified Solutions Architect Associate exam with AWS. It's one thing to have it in mind, and another thing to make the right steps that would help you achieve this goal. And I'm glad you came across this video because that is exactly what we'll be getting into. And within 4 to 6 months, 4 or 5 months, you'll be set up to pass the exam. So I have a few points here that would actually help you. Number one, you have to understand the exam. You have to understand what you want to write. You have to understand what you are getting yourself into. And you need to understand what the exam is like. And I'll be showing you some of that here. So firstly, you need to understand that there are domains that you need to study. Then you need to understand that you are dealing with multiple choice kind of thing. It's a scenario based exam where they can put you in. You have to reason through it as a solutions architect. You have to think like one. You have to answer questions that can be technical questions that would actually put you on the spot. So there's an exam guide. This is the exam guide, the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate exam guide, and you validate your technical knowledge and skills across the breadth of AWS services. So it covers the lot of services that you might not need to know every single one in depth, but you need to have an overview or a good understanding of a lot of them. And then from here, you can actually schedule your exam. I'm just going to open it and maybe get back to it towards the end of the video. So you can go through this page. There's a lot to read, but basically it just gives you an overview of what you are getting into. So it's focused on design of cost and performance optimized solutions, and an ideal starting point for candidates with AWS cloud or strong on-premises IT experience. Usually, people will take the cloud practitioner exam before writing the solutions architect associate exam. But like me, you might decide to just skip the basic certification and go to the associate certification. So once again, there's another link here to schedule an exam. And of course, here it says an associate exam. It's 130 minutes. There are 65 questions. It's 150 US dollars, which means you really need to prepare for it. And then these are testing options and other things. So number one, get to know the exam with exam style questions, which I already said. And then I also show you the exam guide. Then you need to refresh your knowledge, review and practice for your exam, assess your exam readiness so you can take a practice exam. I'm also going to cover that in a different way. So this is a sample question, and you can see there are some questions. I remember about 15. Okay, 10. Okay, 10 questions. You can review this to have an understanding of what kind of questions you face. So let's just look at number one. The company is storing an access key with an access key ID and secret access key in a text file on a custom AMI, that's Amazon machine image. So the company uses the access key to access Amazon DynamoDB tables from instances created from the AMI. The security team has mandated a more secure solution. Okay, so which one is more secure than that? The access key in Amazon S3 bucket and receive on boot from instance? No. Pass the access key to instances through instance user data. This is possible, but it's not secure. Obtain the access key from a key server launch and create an IAM role with permissions to access. So this is the correct answer. So basically, prepare for the exam would actually give you, you actually know why, because it's one thing to see the options. As I said, maybe three of them are feasible, but which one actually, which one do they want? Which one? Because they already know the answer. So it's you that just needs to align into what the perfect answer will be. And in this case, it will be create an IAM role when you start studying, when you start, preparing for the exam, you get to understand what an IM role is and all of that. And I'll actually be sharing a course that you can, use to that would cover all of this. So let me just say, companies developing a highly available web application using stateless web servers, which AWS services or features are suitable for storing session state data. Select two. And there are questions like this to select three. And in this case, DynamoDB, of course, and Elastic Cache. So preparing would actually you would know what each of these service does, and you know in which scenarios you will need to make use of them. So there are many sample questions like this. There are others you can search online, but there is a particular one I'll be sharing with you in preparation for your exam. Okay, let me just go through share the course with you, which is Stefan Marik's Udemy course. So this is it. So this is the course. It's a full practice exam. No, it's a full course that helps you prepare for the exam, covering all the domains that you would come across in the exam. So it's on Udemy. Depending on your country, you would see different prices to it. But basically, it covers from introduction. Then it has, of course, slides and documents. It covers IAM, EC2, instance store, a lot of services within even machine learning. You can see different machine learning services, recognition. And me preparing for my exam, this was a lifesaver. Basically, this course really helped me cover everything I needed to know and then really opened my mind. He's a very good teacher, and he would really break down complexities with AWS for you. And then attached or a different bundle is the practice test. It has a practice set of practice tests you can use to prepare. So I'm actually going to come back to all of that, but let me continue. Number two, you need to set a study time and stick to it. If you are preparing, okay, you already know that you are preparing for this exam. It's very important to have a study time. You might be a day person, a morning person, a night person, but just pick a time that works for you. Maybe 3 4 hours a day. So pick a time, show up regularly, might be 2 3 4 times a week, and then you can get a tracker to track your study time or track your progress. And remember, stick to it. So next, pick a date and work towards it. Very important. When you have a date in mind, when you have a date set already, it actually keeps kind of like a fire on your heart that okay, I have something I'm working towards, I have a goal I'm trying to achieve. And then picking that date, maybe right now we're in July, you can just pick December and know that okay, before the year runs out or by the time the year runs out, I'm going to sit for this exam, pass it, and I'm crossing over to a new year with a change in my status at the moment, right? So pick a date right now, pick a date, head over to the place where you would actually um, sign up for your exam, schedule the exam, and then you might need to use the page to sign in. You just right now you need to sign in with a different. You might just create an AWS builder ID, and then you just follow the prompt. You see there. It's very easy to sign up, and then there you can also do maybe a little research if you're having any issues. But I don't want to go into that right now. So study and practice on the console is very important. It's one thing to study, it's another thing to actually put it to practice. Putting it to practice on the console helps it stick to memory and it commits it into your heart, like begin to know it even without stress. So it's very important to practice, not just for the exam, because you're actually working towards having a career in it, building a professional career. So these things you will make use of them, of course, beyond the exam, and it will help you in the exam and to help you way beyond the exam. You can start working on projects as you are preparing for the exam. And this is very important. Work on projects as you prepare for the exam. These are two things that people would mention. Any cloud career coach will tell you work on projects, work on projects, work on projects. And the courses are very simplified. That once you just pick a concept, let me pull up the console. I have the console here. So this is EC2 dashboard. So just pull up an instance or launch an instance, and then you can create an instance, modify it in a different way, and then have an application run on it. So you're not just learning about EC2, you're not just learning what EC2 does, but you're actually creating stuff with it, web server, and then you can see the options, Amazon Linux. You can see the description. You actually know all of these things are. I've mentioned AMI before. What is an AMI? Amazon Machine Image. Basically, the infrastructure package that comes with each EC2 or virtual machine. So you see the instance type, key pair. What is a key pair? You actually see it in action and everything. So there's a lot to just EC2. There other services. If it is S3, you can work with S3, create a static website with S3. That's one of the very basic things you would learn while dealing with S3. You can see my page. I already have a lot of buckets basically. But when starting out, you would need to create the fresh bucket, and then you see features. Why do we block all public access? Be able to answer questions like that. And once you create the bucket, basically, I'm not going to create this one right now. You'll be able to see a second. Be able to see other advanced things with the bucket, like the properties, versioning, intelligent steering, archive, or you'll be able to even see all the configurations you can have, notifications. Of course, you can create event notifications, but it's not just about knowing what S3 does, right? You need to know some advanced concepts or take it to the next level, connecting it with event bridge with other services, and what exactly is transfer acceleration and all of that. Then, okay, I've mentioned static website hosting. And right now, you can even integrate it with Amplify. You even learn what Amplify does. So when you see a service, you can just open it. Right now, I've just said Amplify. If you don't know what Amplify is, just come here and search for Amplify. Then open it. And then come here. You actually see it. So even if you've heard of Amplify, you see Amplify somewhere, you can now say, okay, I've seen the interface of Amplify, and then I know what Amplify does, and I've made use of it with a project. So that's it. Work with projects, learn as you go, practice on the console as you study. So even if you don't fully understand all the concept or everything to each of the services yet, you will practice with it, and you would easily remember the major things you need for the exam. And I must mention there's the free tier. So let me open this. So AWS has provided the free tier for people beginning in the cloud and that want to learn about AWS. So it's an option to do some tests and run some simple things on AWS without just for learning and for experimentations basically. So the free tier model has changed. It has changed as at July 15, if I'm correct. So right now, new customers get up to $200 in credits. So once you sign up, you get that, and you can do some tests. It says you won't be charged unless you choose the paid plan, which allows you to scale your operations and gain access to over 150 AWS services. So basically, you just have a way of experimenting without, using your own money. So number 5, I've kind of mentioned this before. Use practice tests to build confidence. Practice tests help you to actually see what the exam is like. It will build your confidence, and you would actually see, okay, this is the reasoning behind this question, and this is how I should approach this kind of question with this thought pattern. So if I come here, when I first took this, when I first took this test, I I got 75% correct. And then the second time I took it, I got 98% correct. So I only missed one question the second time. And then all of these practice tests, they are able to open my mind. Even the questions I wouldn't have thought about, it will bring it to my front. I'll be able to say, okay, this is how it is. And to give you as you can see, there's the time limit with this kind of exam mode question. And then it's kind of like as if you're already taking the exam on the spot. So it really helps you prepare for the exam. It opens you up and you actually see, okay, this is what I'm getting myself into. And you can test your readiness for the exam basically. So apart from Stefan Marek, you have Wiz Labs, you have tutorials, dojo, practice, test. So let me check for Wiz Labs. So you just search for Wiz Labs, you should be able to get it. So this is Wiz Labs. They have exam simulator, training library, and all of that. But it's more expensive. It's more expensive than the other ones I've seen. But if you are able to, go through with them, you can just check them out and also sign up for them too. But with Stefan Marek's practice test, I was actually able to sit for and pass my exams. So, in my conclusion, you don't need to know everything at once. Once you believe that progress is possible, you start from where you are and you work towards, achieving that big goal. It's possible, and even by before the end of the year, you can get your certification and get closer to that career you want. So pick that date. Even as you are leaving this video, pick the date, start today, and by the end of the year, before the end of the year, you'll be looking at this moment with pride, and you'll be looking at yourself starting out and making waves in cloud computing, AWS as a solutions architect, as a cloud developer, as a cloud engineer, whichever cloud role you see yourself in months from now. This is the start. This is how you make progressive. Taking the certification is very important to you. Some people don't take the certification, but I feel it's important because it's recognized globally and it gives you that badge. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I know it added some value. So see you in the next one.